Hi. Hi, welcome to Yoga with Liza, day 90. So, we started this back March 10th. Um, and I had technical difficulties for sure that day. Um, and have had some since. Part of going live is that you just never know what's going to happen. And that's part of being live, on camera, in front of the camera. So some of you may have heard my speech or my chat last night. And in that chat, I left out a few people, family, friends from Japan, Finland, India, Native American friends, that I've known since I was a baby, at least two or three, and then have met others along the way. And oh, Brazil, people from South America, Peru. And so a friend of mine just sent me a comment. Um, all good and appreciated. So, plant talk tonight. Plant talk in the book that I've been working from is ivy. And we've talked about ivy and how it's good for the respiratory system and creates space and breathing and all of those different things. And so, since we've already spoken about the respiratory system, looking at something different, another plant to talk about. We talked about basil the other day. We've talked about rosemary. We've talked about myrrh and frankincense and galban. And one that we haven't talked about is tarragon. And tarragon is one that I like to mix in with lamb or tuna fish, on vegetables. Tarragon is part of the herbs de Provence, but tarragon is one that helps the terror be gone. And just like frankincense, sometimes we speak too frankly, tarragon can help the terror be gone. It's also good for digestive systems, treating diarrhea and flavors and so forth. So, tarragon is one that I have been cooking with and adding into my soups and stews and things, over the past 90 days. And let me see, what else have we been doing? I had another brilliant idea, and sometimes poof, then it goes away. So at some point, I am going to go over essences that are helpful with, um, for pets, that are safe for pets, because not everything is safe for pets. So that's all a good thing. And let me see, what other things are we going to work on tonight as far as plant talk goes? The tarragon, regrowing vegetables from food products, we've talked about. And so I've also started the watch party so I can get people to be able to find me. And with this new system, unless you check in and say hello to me, I can't tell if you're there or not. And I may be starting to make a couple phone calls to make sure that a couple people are safe. And hopefully they're outside in the sunshine and engaging. Um, with the life. I know the kids are out and about. So, um, thank you, Cindy. I know you're here now. Um, so today we should have a chair and a tennis ball. We're going to do some different stretch things with the tennis ball. And the chair is going to help us with balance or maybe sitting in the chair. And dandelion, real quick, is one of those things that is considered a weed. However, it is actually very good medicine. Dandelion detoxes the liver, the colon, helps the kidneys. It's a diuretic. It is a plant that the entire plant is edible. The flower, the leaves, the roots. The roots make really great coffee substitute. The leaves are great in salad. And the flowers, that you can add them into breads and muffins. And it adds, some more flour, so you have to put in a little bit of extra moisture. Um, and when you're cooking with the flowers, you want to be sure that the green piece at the base of the flour is completely removed. So I have made some muffins and things with the dandelion flour, and my kids and my friend Charlie, my boyfriend Charlie, they've all enjoyed it. So the muffins, I use blueberries and cranberries and dandelions, but it's all good stuff. So rolling into the world meditation, and one way we can use the chair is it can help shine the light on the world. So, being creative, but we're going to put the light on the back side of the world. So we'll make this be the moon. And I know that we have people here saying the Our Fathers and Hail Marys, people who are sending Reiki, people who are sending magic or fairy dust, sending love, saying love, 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 sending the light, um, all of the things that are good of the light, and gently bringing our hands into our sending position. And maybe you choose to say, I'm backwards, this should be kids, and but I know the kids are away, so we'll hold off on that just for a few minutes, and we're still going to do our kids stretches, and they will come back. I am going to say Henry, Wyatt, Ricky, Angelo, Jace, Cora, Ava, Maya, Braylon, Harper, Anna, Olivia, Scarlett, L'Oreal, Jason, James, Jensen, Emrys, Manny, Zenaida, Kyra, Weston, Carson, Owen, Skylar, KK, Dylan, Nina, Lucas, Michael, Robbie, Liam, Isabel, Sabrina, and there was somebody else. Oh, congratulations to Cage. He's getting married tonight or last night, something like that. So all good. Let's do some stretches for the kids, and the light of is still on the world. Okay, coming up, and I've gotten into a pattern with the kids for the world, and I do that on purpose with the poses, bringing our hands out, making a great big sun, and we had beautiful sun, crystal clear, azure blue sky today, and the only clouds that were out there today were the white puffy ones. Breathing into it, and then coming to star pose and bringing the toes over to the right. From star pose, let's come into triangle. Yep, I'm changing it up just a little bit tonight. Inhale, bring it back up, bring that back foot around, bring the left foot forward, gently reach forward, coming up into our triangle. Big breath. And from here, inhale, bring it all the way up, bring the heels in. One more time, feel our cloud. And from cloud, come back to star. Shift, come over to the right. Bring that right knee to the right for our tree. Maybe we can bring that right foot all the way up tall. And coming into our standing tree. Thumb to finger, thumb to finger, thumb to finger, thumb to finger, thumb to finger. Some of you know the story of this. Bring that right foot back wide. Feel our star. Shift to the right foot and pick up that left foot. Maybe you use the chair for your balance or the wall. And feeling this tree. And again, thumb to finger, thumb to finger, thumb to finger. Thumb to finger, thumb to finger, thumb to finger. And again, step, feel our star. From star, bring it to the front of the mat and pick it up and come into our soaring eagle. Arms out in a T, Breathing into it. From our soaring eagle, bring our right foot all the way through center and bring it out in front. Bring the right foot back to the mat. Bring the arms back out in a T. Bring that left foot back. Feel our soaring eagle. Breathing into it. Inhale, bring that left foot all the way out in front and bring it back to the mat. Feel our chair. Utkatasana. Breath. Utkatasana. Bring the feet together. We're going to come down with our knees together. Narrow knee squat. Now let the knees come out to the side. Maybe the soles of the feet come together as the knees come out. I only have one part of the soles of the feet there, but we're getting there. Gently, mindfully, bring the knees back together. Now, as we come down on the mat, be mindful of the third eye and gently feel that third eye connect with the mat. The arms are out in a T out front. The arms can be engaged or the arms can be soft. Inhaling, bringing ourselves back up. Bring the hips to one side. Feel our gentle twist. Coming all the way back through center. Bringing the feet out in front. Maybe we feel our boat as we gently bring the feet around to the other side. Coming into a gentle twist. Breathing into it. Coming back to center. Bringing the feet out in front one more time. And feel our boat. Maybe one leg straightens. Bring it back down. Maybe the other leg straightens. And bring it back down. Gently give ourselves a hug. Bring our nose to our knees. Inhale back up. Gently bring the left leg out in front, right leg in. Gentle twist, lots of twists in the warm-up tonight. Breathing into it, making room for our dinner later. Maybe you already ate. Come on back to the other side. Bringing that left leg in and gently coming into the twist, looking back over the left shoulder, breathing into it. Coming back to center. One more time, bring the feet in. Let the soles of the feet come together and the knees come out to the side. Gently pick up the sit bones and come back down. breathing into it. Bringing the knees back in. Gently let them come flat on the earth. Bringing our hands to heart center, bring our hands to the third eye. Gently open. Bring our hands back in together, bring them into the third eye, feeling the connection with the third eye. That connection of the third eye helps us connect out into the universe, or at least to the world, as we come into our world meditation. Prayers of the light, pixie dust, Our Father, Reiki, saying love, love, love. However it works, sprinkling rose over top, clary sage over the world. Let's bring up the vibration of the earth. And if you're a Reiki practitioner, Reiki energy, literally translated, is sun energy. Some of you maybe saw my grandson talking about his hands getting hot. What he was feeling is called boisen. Boisen is when you're feeling an area of congestion, or a way that it's described by some as a problem area. And so the boisen is the energy going into that area of clogged congestion, and it creates a back circuit of the energy coming back up, or our hands get very, very hot. And what we need to do then is continue with the Reiki energy, or the sending of the love and the light, until that feeling eases. So clearing the boisen. And that can be holding for hours and hours and hours. We're doing this for 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes a night, sending out love and healing energy. Every little bit helps. And as we do this as a group together, sending out that loving energy as a group together to create peace and harmony throughout the world. Okay. Released you back. Released you back. Released you back. So, throughout the day, shining the light on the world, however we do that. And even at night, we have the stars and the moon. And so, those of us, I'm just beginning to learn a teeny tiny bit about astrology. Um, Reading the Farmer's Almanac, and so, and Facebook, and so that's quasi reliable. But I believe there's 7 planets that will go in retrograde throughout the month of June. And Mercury's going into retrograde um, sometime today or tomorrow. And so be kind and patient with yourself, because when Mercury goes into retrograde, electronics tend to go a little bit haywire. So I'm sitting in a chair and I have tennis balls. And so you could sit in the chair or you could stand. And we're going to just come to center. So find your feet grounded into the mat, whether you're sitting or standing. And bringing our hands to heart center. And take a great big inhale in. Audible sigh out. Coming into our Ujjayi Pranayama, that ocean hushing sound in the back of the ears, the victorious breath, building prana, life force within our body, generating heat gently. I am grateful for, I am grateful for, and I am grateful for. So gratitude brings me to love and happiness, and that's the love and that's the happy. And those of you who have been following understand the importance of the words. And I choose my words as mindfully as I can. I'm human. This is a practice. There are times when I'm thinking 6 feet ahead of myself, and sometimes things come out a little bit jumbled. Have often been called the absent-minded professor. And so let's take a great big inhale, smell the roses, the lotus flower, whatever flower you choose for it to be. Take a great big inhale and exhale. Maybe you blow out that candle. I'm not going to blow that one out tonight. It's the battery operated. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, shoulders soft. Exhale, bring the arms out and around. One more time. Inhale, up, out and around. Bringing the hands into heart center, inhaling up, all the way out and around. Gently bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Look down at the mat. Inhale back through center. Bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And look down at the mat. inhale back through center. Bring the chin to the right. Coming all the way back through center. Bring the chin to the left. And coming all the way through center, gently pump our feet. And again, you can be doing this seated in a chair and pumping your feet, or you can be standing and using the chair for balance, or maybe no chair. So breathing into it. Now, one more time, bring the hands up, shoulders down, back and around. Gently clasp our hands and feel this yoga mudra as we pull the arms down the back, looking up to the ceiling. Open and close the mouth. And again, you can be doing this in the chair. Close the mouth and swallow. Coming back to center. One more time, turn to the right. Come back through center, turn to the left. And again, you can be standing. Come back to center. Release the arms out to our side. Gently walk the right arm down the right leg or down the side of the chair, or stretching the left side body. Inhale, come all the way back through center. Bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Gently bring the hand down. Inhale, come all the way back to center, bringing the hands in, arch up. Tuck the chin, bring the belly button back. Inhale, cat-cow. If you're standing, knees are bent, gently, cat, cow, cat, cow, cat. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Shoulders soft, bring the arms out and around. Hands come back to our side. Now, take a tennis ball under the right foot. And maybe you're sitting in the chair, maybe you're holding the chair, maybe you're using your balance. We're going to take the tennis ball up by the toes, and you see if I can get my foot closer for you to see what I'm doing here. And so, nope, that foot's not going to come up high enough. Let's try on the other side. Remember, this is a yoga practice. We're not perfect, and that's okay. We weren't meant to be. We're meant to grow. Tennis ball gently rolls along the soles of the feet. So, what I'm doing beneath the toes, and I'm bringing my foot from side to side. And then we're going to shift and bring the tennis ball along the toes of the left foot and the foot is coming from side to side with the tennis ball underneath. Now bring the tennis ball back to the right foot, and we're going to bring our foot forward and pick it back up and bring it forward and pick it back up and bring it forward and pick it back up. Other side. Take the tennis ball and move the foot forward. Remember, the arch of the foot is the middle of the body. We want this to go in one direction. If you're pregnant, skip the sole, the arch of the foot. Come on back down. And again, come back through. And come back through. If you're pregnant, have your foot massage done by a foot reflexologist who's trained in pregnancy. Football, gentle circles, coming around one circle around the heel, coming back around the other way. So we're making circles on the heel with the tennis ball. And then bring the right foot down. Left heel comes up. Gentle circles one way. Gentle circles. Back around the other way. Now, come back to center. Standing on our feet or letting our feet rest on the earth as we're using the chair. Feel the difference in our feet all the way up the legs. Now, same idea with the hands. And again, you can be sitting in the chair. So we're going to bring the tennis ball into center. And I know I've chopped off my head, but that's okay. All right, let me come down on my knees so that you can see my face. And so we're holding the tennis ball between our palms. And gently, we can rub and make circles with the tennis ball with our palms in one way. And then bring it back around the other way. Now, so we're giving ourselves a hand massage as well. Taking the tennis ball and letting it come in between the fingers. Now, bringing it back to the heel. Bringing our arms out and gently pushing into that tennis ball. So as we're pushing in and actually maybe able to concave a side of the tennis ball, that we're engaging our arms and bringing our arms back and down. And so for people who are stuck in a chair, whether it's a wheelchair or a regular seated chair because coming down on the mat is not an option, this is a way of working our arm muscles and pushing into that tennis ball, in addition to using our soup cans as we come from side to side. And we were able to give ourselves a foot rub without picking up the foot in the chair coming here. So we were able to do that foot rub in the chair. All right, next phase of possibility using the tennis ball is, if you're in the chair, we're going to put the tennis ball right in the middle of the glute where the femur connects into the hip bone. And so the tennis ball, maybe you're sitting in the chair with and lifting yourself with your arms and your legs. And that tennis ball, it doesn't work if you have a concave chair. However, if you have a flat chair, that's a possible option. If you're in the mat with this, take the tennis ball again under the gluteus where the femur meets the hip bone, and then straighten that right leg so that you're giving yourself a sciatica release, an IT band release, and depending on how much pressure your body can take, keeping the knee bent, or maybe bringing that foot straight out in front. And be gentle on yourself, because if we're putting too much pressure in, we can break down muscle tissue that we don't want to. So be very, very gentle and kind to yourself. Now, take the tennis ball to the left side. And again, whether you're in the chair or on the mat, and feel the release in the gluteus. So we're releasing out the fascia. And for people who are sitting all the time, to release that area, muscle tightness, sciatic nerve, a tennis ball can be very helpful, especially if you live alone. Now, coming back to center, some people like to put the tennis ball, 2 tennis balls, on either side of the spine, down low. And then you can gently roll this up and down the spine in the lower area. So gently bring ourselves down, bring the tennis ball to the base of the spine, and gently roll down so that the tennis balls are on either side of the spine, not directly on the spine, and releasing out the area. And this should feel good. If it feels less than good, stop. And just bring yourself into a bridge. So gently, we're sliding, rolling the tennis balls up our back on either side of our spine like a roller ball. And it's not something that happens with grace and ease, but it's very effective in releasing out the tension in the back, especially if you've been out in the yard mulching or carrying dirt for a container garden, which I know many of us have been doing lately. And eventually you're going to work it so that the tennis balls go all the way up the spine. And you say, okay, if I'm stuck in a chair, what am I going to do? Well, maybe you have a chair with a full back and you can work the tennis balls up the back in the full chair. Maybe you use the wall. And at the wall, I'm starting up at the top of the spine, just here where we start to engage, and I'm going to allow gravity to gently help me release the tennis balls down the back as I'm coming up and down on my tippy toes, and then gently letting them drop a little bit farther. And this is not an exact science, this is a practice. And for those who are home alone, or whoever they're with is not appropriate, or they won't give you a back rub, this is just a gentle way until the salons and the masseuses are ready to open and start living. So you can roll those tennis balls up and down the spine as we're coming into our squat, and use the chair to help with that. So the other thing that I do on the mat then is allow the tennis balls, and let's come down and do that, to come and roll down the outer edge of the scapula, between around the outer edge of the scapula, and that releases out all of the shoulders. So gently, as we come back down onto the mat, and again, you could do this against the wall or in a chair. I find it easier for me on the mat, and I only do one side at a time. So I'm placing that tennis ball right at the edge of my scapula and gently letting it release out. And you may find a place where you say, aha, that's where the knot is. And maybe you hold and breathe into it. So as you take a great big inhale and an audible sigh out, that it releases that place that is the aha moment in the spine. Now the other side, take it on the left side again, and take your time on either side. So just gently work it, and again, maybe you find a aha place and breathe into it. Gently releasing out the shoulders. Bringing ourselves back to sitting or standing. Now, and you may say, why am I showing modifications with a chair? Well, there's this whole population of people with disabilities who are in wheelchairs. And oftentimes they get overlooked in the grand scheme of things. And I think they're one of our most vulnerable populations. And yet, some of the people who I know who are in wheelchairs are determined, have perseverance, and happy, wonderful outlooks and attitudes on life of I can and I will. So sharing and making some adaptations for people who are in chairs is important to me. So many years ago, I taught adaptive skiing, and with my hip, I've chosen not to be skiing. I'm teaching yoga. So to me, it makes sense to make the adaptations for those who may have disabilities in a wheelchair. And I can adapt a practice or skiing to just about everybody to be able to do some type of yoga practice or skiing. Whether you're in a sit ski or that's a whole different, but in yoga, I can modify it if you're in bed, if you're in a chair, if you're using a walker, and however it is, we'll figure out a way to bring you to the edge of your practice. So, coming back to the chair, um, bringing ourselves, and again, maybe you do this while we're standing, and bring that right leg straight out in front. And if you're standing, maybe you use the chair as a prop. Plant your left foot, pick up that right knee, and bring that right foot straight out in front. Keep yourself balanced. Push down into that left foot as we rise up, and the right foot is straight out in front. Bring that right knee in, bring it up as high as it'll go. And maybe you can lift it up while you're in the chair as well. Breathe, and then bring that right foot back down to the mat. Plant that right foot into the mat. If you're in the chair, feel that right foot plant into the mat. Shift it over, gently pick up the left heel. And from there, bring it up, straighten, bring that left leg straight out in front. Breathing into it. And maybe you're sitting in the chair, but feel that right foot planted into the earth as it's pushing you up. Breathing into it. Feeling the breath. Shoulders back and down. Bring that left foot back down. Now, if you're standing, bring your feet hip width apart and gently come from side to side. If you're in the chair, bring yourself from side to side to your edge. Breathing into it. Come back to center. Whether you're standing or sitting, gentle head rolls. One way. Gentle head rolls. Back around the other way. Coming back to center. Now, if you're standing, shift the weight to the left foot. Pick up the right knee and let it open to the right, coming into your tree pose. So this is one version of tree pose if you're sitting in the chair. My right foot, my knee is coming to the right, and this may be right where I hold. Maybe, depending on why I'm in the chair, I can bring that foot up to the inside of my left thigh, bringing the feet in and the knee comes out, bringing our arms up and feeling our cactus arms, thumb to finger, 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 thumb to finger. Maybe you bring that left leg straight out in front. Maybe you're standing on the earth. Gently bring that left foot back to the mat. Bring that right knee, if you're standing, bring it out in front. Lift it up in the chair. Maybe you can bring it up. Again, depending on why you're in the chair, take it to your edge. Shift the weight to the right foot if you're standing. Pick up the left heel. Bring the left knee to the left. Feeling this open place coming straight ahead. And this may be right where you hold. Maybe you bring the right foot up as if you were standing on the mat. So you're getting that engagement. Maybe you push down into that right foot so you feel the engagement into the earth. Bring the left foot up, maybe, so that the sole of the left foot comes to the thigh. If you're standing, maybe you're at the shin, the thigh. Bring that right foot out in front. Bring the arms up, thumb to finger, thumb to finger, thumb to finger. So do what is accessible to you. Breathing into it. Bring that right foot back to the earth. If you're standing, I hope it's in the earth. Bring the left knee around in front and gently feel that left knee come in. And again, maybe you bring that leg out in front. Maybe you feel it rooted in the mat. Left knee is up. Tall, tall, tall. Bring the left knee back down. Gently. Again, if you're standing, feel your stretch from side to side. Now, if you're in the chair, bring your feet wide and let your knees come from side to side. If you're standing, maybe you simply do gently from side to side, feeling the stretch, the release in the hips and the low back. So again, bringing ourselves onto the chair, shoulders back and down, bringing the hands to heart center and awakening our third eye, bringing our hands, thumbs back to the third eye, feeling this peace. You can do this standing or sitting, and then open the arms and bring the hands back to center, waking up the third eye. Open. Bring the hands back in and open. You can do this seated in the mat, standing, or in the chair. One more time. Open and bring the hands back into the third eye. So we're feeling our third eye. Bring our hands to the top of our head and take our fingers, and I'm just gently tapping on the top of my head. So I'm opening my crown chakra. Gently, and there's a whole thing with tapping. You tap on your cheeks, open your sinuses. Okay, my throat chakra. Gently holding my throat, breathing into it. Coming down to the chest, tapping on our heart space. So our tapping, 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 we're waking up our heart space. Waking it up. Heart space is spring green. As we come down, solar plexus right about the umbilicus, maybe you're tapping, maybe gently holding, and you can gently hold your heart space. And then bring our hands down towards our sacral spine so they're connecting just below the belt buckle. So sacral chakra, sacral spine, solar plexus, bringing the hands back behind, and maybe you sit on your hands to find the root chakra. Maybe you simply bring your hands next to your hips to find your root chakra and send it loving energy, prayers, light. Maybe you tap into the hips to become aware of that root chakra. Remember, root chakra is our survival center. And right now, many of us are in survival, fight, flight mode. So to bring in the love and just wake up that place, and then bring the hands back to the third eye and feel the crown, so that we're balancing ourselves again between all of the chakras, allowing the energy to even out, and envisioning all of the colors of the rainbow, and appreciating each chakra, its color, for its own unique beauty and what it contributes to our whole. Bringing our hands back to heart center. One more time, inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring the hands out and around. Drop over to the right. Inhale back through center. Drop over to the left. And come back to center. Now, I'm going to do seated half sun salutations. Again, feel free to stand. Inhale, bring our arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Hands come back around to our side, Tadasana. So from here, gently bringing the hands out and around. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, and you could still be in the chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands come back through heart center, Tadasana. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands come through heart center, Tadasana. All right, If you're standing, bring yourself down onto the mat. And however you come down, gently, mindfully, we're going to come down onto the mat. We're going to do a bridge, a legs up the wall, and our closing meditation. So, and then we're all pampered and ready for our Saturday night. Okay, so if you're coming down onto the mat and bring yourself into your bridge pose. So the feet are coming onto the mat and gently roll down. Bring the elbows to the mat. Inhale up. Press down on the big toes and lift up through the hips. Fingers coming up to the ceiling and breathing into it. Now, if you're in the chair for bridge pose, bringing the feet to the mat, bring the hands back behind, soles of the feet to the mat. Maybe you can lift yourself up out of the chair. And many people who have who are in wheelchairs have extremely strong arms because oftentimes they're pushing themselves. So depending on your leg ability, maybe you can take your feet and clip them back so that you're lifting yourself again and feeling that back bend. Okay, if the feet don't move at all, bring the hands back behind and feel that gentle arch of your spine. If you're on the mat, bring yourself down and back up again. Maybe you're still holding in that original bridge. That's awesome. Core, pushing down into the big toe as you're looking up, feeling that breath and breathing into it. Now, coming back, straightening, legs up the wall if you're in the chair, using blocks, sofas, ottomans. Maybe your wheelie bob will bring up the legs. So some wheelchairs have adjustable legs, and you can pick up the legs and bring up the wheelie bob legs to stay underneath, wheelie bob being wheelchair. And so then gently bringing yourself back with, and maybe you have another, so that you're at right angles and feeling this, feet are flexed, feeling your legs up the wall. Now, if you're on the floor, bring yourself around and bring your feet into the chair. And so maybe you're coming down onto the chair and bringing your feet up and making this gentle, feet, gentle legs up the wall. So if you're not confined to the chair, you can use the chair as a prop to bring your feet up. If you're in the chair because you're in a wheelchair, or for whatever reason you're using a chair because your physical ability, you're not getting onto the floor, okay, and we're just going to breathe here and feel this beautiful meditative thought. Maybe we breathe in love, exhale whatever no longer serves us. So whatever is not serving us right now, And the world is as it is, and we sent the world light. Now we're going to bring ourselves light. Bring in the love. Let go of the other stuff, that which no longer serves us. Now, gently, if you're on your back, bring your feet together. The soles of your feet come together into Baddha Konasana with your toes pointed up towards the ceiling. If you're in a chair because coming down on the mat is not feasible, maybe keeping your legs out long, you can rotate your legs so that your feet are balanced on the wheelchair legs or the ottoman, your blocks. Maybe you can you're sitting on the earth and you let them come out wide. But if you're on the earth, let the toes point up to the ceiling. And then gently let them come down to the earth. Now, bring the arms straight up overhead. Bend the elbows so you're palm to elbow, palm to elbow. And so here's a chair, Supta Baddha Konasana. Maybe you're flat on your back because that's accessible to you. Maybe this is where we are. Breathing into it. Now releasing for Savasana. And if you're in a chair, wheelchair, because the legs don't work, you can move them. You use the straps, you use the pillowcases, your clothing, however it is that you move those things. And let your legs come back straight out in front. Point and flex the fingers and toes again as they will. And find our Savasana. Now some people say maybe scooch down into the chair so that you can get your body as flat as you can, and knowing how important it is, there's veins and arteries that run in the front of the thighs, femoral vein, femoral artery, and so part of Savasana is body to be flat so that there's free blood flow throughout the body. If we're kinked here, you know what it does when you kink a hose? So you're kinking off your femoral vein and artery. The vein brings the blood to the back to the central circulation. The artery is what brings it down to the feet. The artery is what's pumping. So you have to have enough. Anyway, so the idea is to open this up and allows the blood flow to come back. Evens out throughout the body. If you can be flat on the mat, that's super. Inhaling, bringing the arms up overhead. Whether you're on the mat or the chair, wiggling our fingers and toes. Bringing our knees into our chest. Maybe in the chair, they simply come to the mat. If you're on the mat, you have your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug. Gently roll over onto the right side. So if you're in the chair, feel that shift to the right. And then gently push ourselves up, one vertebrae at a time. Coming into easy cross leg. Planting the toes into the mat. I invite you to join me in a long Om. Great big inhale in. One more. And one more. I am grateful for, I am grateful for, and I am grateful for. May the light within me salute the light within you. And when we are at this place, we are all the same. Namaste. Be happy, safe, and healthy until we meet again. I want to thank everybody who's coming out. Anne Marie, it's awesome to see you. I can only see the people who greet me and say hello. So thank you, Anne Marie, for coming out. And Nina and Cindy, I know you're there. Ethel, you may be there. And Patty, thank you. Have a great night.